We've got Gavin Rose with us, the Dulwich Hamlet manager. Thanks for your time, really do appreciate it. Look, before I start the questions, I know you may have been forced for this fixture, but I think you've got to take your hat off to you, your club and your management and your players to reverse this fixture, because when we talk about some of the things like, you're not doing the best, these are second, most teams would have just thrown that one in and said, look, we're not going to go, we can't do it, or you might say something different, you know what I'm saying? So take your hat off to you and your club, well done.
Cheers, thank you.
No, you're welcome. Right, let's get down to nitty gritty, eh?
Sure.
This is your third season in the National League South, good first season, but of late, it's just gone a little bit. Are you in transition as a club, do you feel?
As a club we are. Yeah, as a club we are. I mean, stability of the club has been, even before when we went up, it was still in question, long-term future. And some of the decisions that we've had to make on the pitch has been because of what's happening in the background as well. So it's hard to plan, but yeah, we've been in a bit of transition on the pitch and off the pitch, really.
Sure. Like last Wednesday away at Hamilton Waterloo, your average age was 22 years old. Are you finding it a little bit difficult because you train 3 mornings a week to get the older people to come, players, because they might have to jack their job in or whatever, or are you just happy with the youth that you're bringing you've got? No,
last year we had a average age of maybe 28, 29.
Yeah.
So it isn't down to that. I think obviously we're in the COVID times and our budget has had to be reflective of that. We made a decision even last year that our budget was smaller, and with COVID it is smaller. So we looked at maybe a personnel a bit younger, a bit more hungrier. It does mean at times they're learning on the job and it's been harsh for them. We've had some. We started off at Ebbsfleet, who I think is going to be there or thereabouts, and it was a harsh lesson for them. But I think if they can learn quickly and we understand what we're working with, and if we need to remain patient and give them as much detail as possible and help them progress as the season goes on.
What sort of squad you're carrying size? What is it?
To be honest with you, we're overloaded. We started off with numbers of about 18, which is quite a small squad. But we've picked up a few injuries along the way, and we've got lads in. Some are even on the wage bill yet, but they are here. They're signed. So that'll be trimming down as people come back and go from there, really.
Dulwich Hamlet, they've got such good history. You've got your home ground, 2,000 people come and watch. It's a big club, isn't it? No doubt about it.
Yeah.
And I read things, and I hope you're not going to be offended what I ask this question, but you've been at the club 11 years now. Do you feel that you've taken your Dulwich Hamlet as far as you could, and you could do with a new challenge, and the club could go a different direction, or not?
No, I mean obviously for me, when my time's up, I sort of call it a day. Yeah, I call it a day and say, look, our time's up. You know what I mean? I think sometimes we can be a little bit short-termist, and we have to understand that as a club, when we first came here, we was in the Ryman 1, and now we're in 2 leagues above. And as a club, we need to get used to being in that level. A lot of the times we've been more ambitious than the clubs wanted to be. Do you know what I mean? I think the club's got used to us winning games every week, and now starting to think, well, can't we go again? Which is fine, but I think we have an understanding of when things are good and why they are, and when things are bad and why they are. So we're quite level-headed, and we don't get too hot, don't get too down, and we know what we're trying to achieve.
Yeah, sure. And you've got, like I say, you've got great support, and it's probably only the minority that thinks like they are thinking. And the trouble when you do have many supporters, you're going to have a few bad apples in there, aren't you?
To be honest with you, I've never really taken too much care about the supporters, what they think. Not in a bad way. I respect the supporters, of course I do. But what I mean by that is when we won every game, I never thought I'm the best manager in the world. I never took on board all the great praise of we're the best thing since sliced bread. And equally, when we're not doing so well, I don't take on any negativity. So I never hear the comments. I make it a point to never listen to good or bad, because I think that means that you can take your focus away from what you're here to do.
Sure.
And at the end of the day, we've played some good games, we've played some bad games, we've won games, and people say that was brilliant. Actually, it weren't that good, but we won. So I know football's there's a lot of fickle things in the game and opinions, and for me, I've always stayed focused over the years that I've managed to just concentrate on what I've got to concentrate on, nothing else really.
And I do mean it tonight. Good luck tonight. I hope it goes well for you for the rest of the season. Lovely. And we'll catch up after.
Thank you.
Cheers, my mate.
Top man.
Thank you very much.